Okie dokie. Word problems, everyone's favorite. But really, it's just taking what we've learned and applying it to some real world situations. So I'll walk you through 3 different word problems. If on your practice page you need help, let me know because there are some tricky ones on there. What I want to remind you of is that adding is combining. Combining 2 groups, 3 groups. Usually they're not equal because if they were equal, we would multiply. So it's just combining some things. We add them together. Subtracting is either taking an amount away or we're comparing 2 things to figure out how much more it is or how much less it is, how much taller, how much heavier, how much shorter, anything like that. We're going to subtract the 2 numbers to figure out the difference. First problem. We're going to go over the word problem protocol to just remind you. I know this is on the wall, but it's a good thing to take a look at because we read the problem 1 step at a time. We make sure we understand the story that is happening. If you don't actually understand the story, it's going to be very hard to pick the right operation and know what to do. So reread it as many times as you need. If it's practice, ask me if you don't understand it. If it's not, just really do your best to try to imagine, visualize what is happening. Make a plan for how you're going to solve it. Draw some sort of picture, some sort of representation of what's going on. That will help you understand the story better. The next step is to carry out the plan. So actually do what you are going to do, add, subtract, whatever. I will remind you we're in the adding and subtracting decimals pathway, so these will be adding and subtracting. In other problems, you wouldn't necessarily know that, but for this, you do know that. And then step 5, make sure your answer makes sense. If I'm spending money, I can't have more money than I started with, for example. Questions to ask yourself if you're stuck. Do you notice any keywords? They can be helpful. They don't always work, but if you're stuck, it's a good place to start. Did you read the problem again to really make sure you understand what's going on? Does the math operation match the story? So if you're adding things, are you combining? If you are subtracting, is the problem taking away or comparing? Is it a 1-step or a 2-step? Okay, or more. There might be multiple steps, there might not. Did you look for any number words? So if it's written out like that, sometimes it's easy to miss. So make sure you look for those. And did you really take your time, draw your picture, show your work, show how you got it. Really try to get it right. Don't just rush through it. All right, first problem. The weight of a bag of apples is 3 8/10 pounds. Mrs. Hernandez eats 93/100 pound of apples on the first day and 1 5/100 pounds on the second day. How many pounds of apples are left? So we have this bag, has some apples in it, probably about 4 apples because apples usually weigh about a pound. Okay, she eats some on the first day, so she takes it out, she eats it, num num num. She eats another one. So do you think your answer is going to be more or less than it started with? Less, because she's eating them, so they're going away. Our left is a good clue that it's subtraction. Won't always be, but it is a clue. Now we have 2 amounts that are getting taken away. So we can either start with 3 8/100, subtract the first one, get an answer, subtract the second one. Or I could add the 2 together that she is eating and just subtract one at a time. I'll show you the different ways. So if I subtract what she ate on the first day, okay, put my 0, can't do 0 minus 3, so I need to borrow. That becomes 7, that becomes 10, 10 minus 3 is 7, 7 minus 9 I can't do, 2, 17, 17 minus 9 is 8. So she has 2 87/100 left after the first day. Then I'm going to subtract what she ate on the second day. Okay, 7 minus 5 is 2. Sorry, I'm going to move this so you can see my numbers. There we go. 8 minus 0 is 8, decimal, and 1. So she has 1 and 82 hundredths pounds, lb means pounds, left. Or I could say, okay, well, she ate 93 hundredths plus 1 and 5 hundredths. So I know she ate 1 and 98 hundredths. So I could just take 3.8 minus 1 and 98 hundredths. Add my 0, borrow, that's 7, that's 10. 10 minus 8 is 2. Can't do that, so I need to borrow. I get 8 and 1. So notice either way, I get 1 and 82 hundredths. So if I'm subtracting multiple numbers, I can either combine the numbers I need to add, combine the numbers first by adding them, and then subtract them all at once, or subtract them one at a time. Either way will work. Next one. Melanie starts with $20. She buys some Takis for $3.99 and some lemonade for $1.50. How much money does Melanie have left? So again, I could figure out how much money she spent, subtract it all at once. Sorry. Need to sneeze. There we go. Or I could subtract them one at a time. So we'll do the subtracting one at a time first. I'm going to take 20. I'm going to subtract $3.99. Now remember, where's the decimal in 20? It's at the end, because $20 I can also write like that. So minus $3.99. Lots of borrowing on this one. Okay, I need to go all the way over there. That would be 10, but it becomes 9. That would be 10, but it becomes 9. This one becomes 10. 10 minus 9 is 1, 0, 6, and 1. So she has $16.01 left after she buys her Takis. Then she buys lemonade for $1.50. So I need to subtract another $1.50 because she's spending it, so it's going away. 1, 0 minus 5 I can't do, so 5. 10 minus 5 is 5. 5 minus 1 is 4, and 1. So she has $14.51 left. Because she spent it, so we had to subtract it. I could add first and say $3.99 plus $1.50. This is how much money she spent. So I know she spent $5.49. So I could take my $20, subtract all the money she spent at once. Sorry, those are my dogs. Well, I heard something, Mommy. All right, 1 would be a 9, but would be a 10, becomes a 9. Would be a 10, but I have to borrow from it, so it's a 9. Then I get 10. 10 minus 9 is 1, 5, 4, and 1. So either way, I'm going to get the same answer. The second way is a little less subtracting. I know some of you probably like adding better than subtracting, so this is one option. I'm just figuring out how much money she spent and subtracting that from the total. Again, if I got something bigger than $20, that wouldn't make sense because she starts with $20. I can't have more money left after I buy things than what I started with. Unless there was something like she got paid or she got money from a friend or she returned something or whatever. All right, one more. Container A and B weigh 46 and 15 pounds together. Container B weighs 22 and 9/10. How much does container A weigh? This is like one of those part whole situations. So we know the whole thing is 46 and 15 hundredths. We know together, okay, this could be A, that could be B, and this is together. So we have part, B is 22 and 9/10. So how can I find the missing part? Subtract. So I can subtract 46 and 15 hundredths minus 22 and 9/10. Put my 0. 5 minus nothing is 5. 1 minus 9 I cannot do. Borrow, that becomes a 5. 11. I know I go fast through the borrowing, so if you need me to help you out more, I'm more than happy to do that. I'm not going to spend my time showing you that in the video. 23 and 25 hundredths pounds is container A, which makes sense because 22, almost 23, plus 23 is going to be about 46. That works. Okay? Again, let me know if you need help. You got this.